सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. My esteemed colleague, respected Dr. G.N. Singh ji, advisor to Honorable Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and former Uttarakhand, Shri Manohar Kharani ji, Honorable President, Lloyd Group of Institutions, Dr. Vandana Arora Sethi, Chief Strategy Officer and Group Director, Lloyd Institute, Professor Ramesh Kumar Goyal ji, respected Professor R.K. Khalsa, Shri Vipul Gupta ji, Dr. Ajay Shashank ji, Professor Arun Nanda ji, my wife who agreed to accompany me today in this function, Dr. Mrs. Kalpana Singh, all the distinguished faculty members, esteemed guests, research scholars, delegates from across the country and abroad, media persons, and my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. It fills me with immense pride and joy to be with you this morning in such a intellectually charged environment at Lloyd Group of Institutions, an institution that stands today as an example of academic excellence, innovation, and ethical education. From its humble beginning to now being home to over 14,000 students, as has been mentioned by the director, Lloyd has truly emerged as a multidisciplinary center of excellence, nurturing future leaders in pharmacy, in management, in law, in engineering, forensic sciences, etc. This remarkable growth is a testimony to the visionary leadership of Shri Manohar Kharani ji, whose dedication to skilling and employability has set a new benchmark in institutional governance. And behind the strategic growth, the academic rigor, and the culture of care stands Dr. Vandana Arora Sethi, a dynamic academic leader who blends strategic thinking with emotional intelligence. She has not only led Lloyd with clarity of vision, but has also inspired generations of students and faculty through her personal example of perseverance, values, and learning mindset. I compliment and I congratulate the Lloyd Group of Institutions for its overall achievements and the remarkable growth in the journey of education and employability. Friends, I am so happy to be with you all. Particularly, I have with me today Dr. G.N. Singh ji, who talks a lot about this institution, and he was the one who pursued me to be here today. Dr. G.N. Singh, as you have rightly mentioned, madam, is a living example of simplicity, hard work, dedication, and commitment. I am thankful to the organizing committee, ethical education. From its humble beginning to now being home to over 14,000 students, as has been mentioned by the director, Lloyd has truly emerged as a multidisciplinary center of excellence, nurturing future leaders in pharmacy, in management, in law, in engineering, forensic sciences, etc. This remarkable growth is a testimony to the visionary leadership of Shri Manohar Tharani ji, whose dedication to skilling and employability has set a new benchmark in institutional governance. And behind the strategic growth, the academic rigor and the culture of care stands Dr. Vandana Arora Sethi, a dynamic academic leader who blends strategic thinking with emotional intelligence. She has not only led Lloyd with clarity of vision, but has also inspired generations of students and faculty through her personal example of perseverance, values, and learning mindset. I compliment and I congratulate the Lloyd Group of institutions for its overall achievements and the remarkable growth in the journey of education and employability. Friends, I am so happy to be with you all. Particularly, I have with me today Dr. G.N. Singh, who talks a lot about this institution, and he was the one who pursued me to be here today. Dr. G.N. Singh, as you have rightly mentioned, madam, is a living example of simplicity, hard work, dedication and commitment. I am thankful to the organizing committee and the officials of Lloyd Institute for inviting me to this prestigious conference, which is being organized in a blended mode. Today as the chief guest on such an imperative and thought-provoking theme, AI in Pharma World, redefining education, research and industry through intelligent innovation. This redefining word is very important because time is changing so fast that every time we should look back and look forward. And therefore, when we are thinking about the education, research and industry, and that too through intelligent innovation, the theme becomes very important. Friends, today I want to talk about a topic that has the potential to revolutionize the way we live, the way we work and interact with each other. A topic that has been making headlines and sparking debates across the world, artificial intelligence, and that too in pharma world. I am very happy to tell you that I had the privilege of heading 2 universities and vice chancellor, in which I was told that the pharma, Dr. G.N. Singh Saab, perhaps pharmaceutical sciences department started first in BHU in the country, and then in the Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University, Sagar. So I have been the vice chancellor of both the universities, and also in Devi Ahilya University, the pharmaceutical department is doing so well. So having in the midst of the experts from pharmacy and the experts from the technology, particularly in the artificial intelligence, it gives me a lot of pleasure. I'm particularly very happy to see the large number of the students. और करानी साहब और वंदना जी, मैं आपको बधाई दूंगा कि इतने अनुशासित बच्चे शायद ही कहीं देखने को मिलते हो जितने मैं यहाँ देख रहा हूँ. And it is because of one thing which I feel, क्योंकि विद्यार्थी रहते हुए मैं स्वयं भी उतना अनुशासित शायद नहीं रहा हूँगा जितना कि मैं आप लोगों को देख रहा हूँ. और आप कितना ध्यान से सुन रहे हैं सब बातों को, क्योंकि आज की जो जनरेशन है वो दैट इज वेल इन्फॉर्म्ड और अपने फ्यूचर को लेकर के, अपने आसपास के परिवेश को लेकर के, अपने भविष्य की एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी को लेकर के आज की जो जनरेशन है वो ज्यादा सजग है, ज्यादा जागरूक है और कभी कभी ज्यादा चिंतित भी है। और इसलिए आप लोग इस दिशा में सोच रहे हैं और ध्यान से चीजों को सुन रहे हैं। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि जो कुछ आप यहाँ से कॉन्फ्रेंस से सीखेंगे उससे जो है बहुत कुछ अपने जीवन में उसको अपनाने की कोशिश करेंगे। ये लियोन ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन से आपको बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है, क्योंकि इतनी कम उम्र में आपको इतनी बड़ी इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में पार्टिसिपेट करने का मौका मिल रहा है। मैं सभी विद्यार्थियों को उनके उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं और आशा करता हूं कि आपके जो सपने हैं, आपके जो संकल्प हैं, आपके जो भविष्य को गढ़ने की जो कुछ भी दिशा है उसमें आप सफल होंगे। फ्रेंड्स, AI has come a long way since its inception. From simple chatbots to complex machine learning algorithms that can predict diseases, design new drugs, or optimize industrial processes. AI has evolved to become an integral part of our daily lives. Yet, it still remains in an exploration phase as we continue to discover the innumerable fields where it can bring revolutionary changes. Today, as we all gather here on this platform, our purpose is not only to understand the scope of AI in the pharma world, but also to reflect upon the milestones already achieved, to assess how these advances are impacting our society and the lives of people around us. Drug discovery and development have traditionally been considered highly expensive, time-consuming, and resource-intensive. On average, bringing one new drug to the market can take nearly 15 years, involving enormous financial investments, extensive human and animal trials, and significant risks. But now, AI offers a new ray of hope by providing better lead molecules for synthesis. It helps reduce failure rates, saves years of effort, and minimizes costs and ethical concerns. This truly represents a paradigm shift in pharmaceutical research and innovation. AI can optimize dosage forms, predict pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic behavior, and even aid in precision medicine, helping us move toward a more personalized and efficient healthcare system. However, friends, as we embrace this technological transformation, we must also ensure that AI is used ethically. I would like to emphasize it more, that we must also ensure that AI is used ethically and creatively. On one hand, AI holds immense promise. It can help us solve complex problems, improve healthcare outcomes, and enhance our productivity. It can also enable us to create new forms of art, knowledge, and innovation that were once unimaginable. But on the other hand, AI also raises serious ethical and societal concerns and issues. As AI systems become more autonomous, we must ensure that they remain aligned with human values and that they do not perpetuate bias, inequality, or discrimination. We must demand transparency, accountability, and explainability in AI decision making. especially in areas like healthcare, where human lives are directly affected. To use AI in an ethical and creative way means being aware of both its benefits and its risks. It means being mindful of the data we use to train AI systems, ensuring it is diverse, inclusive, and representative of all sections of society. It also means being creative in how we design and deploy AI, thinking beyond conventional boundaries to solve real-world challenges through collaboration among technologists, scientists, artists, and social thinkers. And above all, it means being responsible, ensuring that AI serves humanity, respects human dignity, and upholds the values that define us as civilization. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, I would like to quote here, the future depends on what we do in the present. So the choices we make today about how we use artificial intelligence will shape not only the technological future of our nation, but also its moral and ethical fabric. We must therefore strive to ensure that innovation always walks hand in hand with responsibility. As someone working closely in the field of policy making, I can proudly say that our government is recognizing the transformative power of AI in education and research. The Kasturirangan Committee, which drafted the National Education Policy NEP 2020, has explicitly emphasized this in the NEP 2020 document, and I would like to state here that concerted curricular and pedagogical initiatives, including the introduction of contemporary subjects such as artificial intelligence, design thinking, holistic health, organic living, environmental education, and global citizenship education, the one as a member of the implementation committee of NEP 2020 when I was chairman of the University Grants Commission. Friends, this NEP 2020 further stresses that mathematics and computational thinking are vital for India's leadership in AI, machine learning, and data science. It also recognizes that as AI-based predictive technologies evolve, they will begin to match or even outperform skilled professionals in certain areas such as diagnosis and decision making. Hence, our education system must be dynamic and responsive to these technological shifts. The NEP also highlights the need for a robust research ecosystem in areas like biotechnology, nanotechnology, neuroscience, ensuring that India leads in cutting-edge innovation while remaining rooted in ethical and sustainable practices. But the NEP 2020 goes beyond technological advancements. It envisions the creation of global citizens. The very vision of the NEP 2020 highlights that we have to develop our learners as the global citizens, but it also says that they should remain connected to the roots. भारतीय जड़ों से जुड़े रहते हुए हमें अपने विद्यार्थियों को वैश्विक नागरिक बनाना है। ये हमारी NEP 2020 की दृष्टि है और उसे हमेशा ध्यान में रखना है। It reminds us that education must not only produce skilled professionals, but also individuals with empathy, with ethics, with values, and a sense of shared responsibility for the humanity. पूरे मानवता के कल्याण के लिए, वैश्विक कल्याण के लिए, पर्यावरण के संवेदनशील रहने के लिए एक पूरी पीढ़ी का हमें निर्माण करना है। ये हमारी राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति कहती है। The vision resonates deeply with the idea that innovation should serve both national progress and global well-being. और वो इसलिए कि आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा कि हमारी राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति कहती है कि हमें भारत को ज्ञान की महाशक्ति बनाना है। और जब हमारे डॉक्टर जी.एन. सिंह साहब अभी चर्चा कर रहे थे कि 2047 तक हमें पूरे देश को हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक बड़ा लक्ष्य रखा है, और वो लाल किले की प्राचीर से उन्होंने कहा है कि 2047 तक जो है हमें भारत को विकसित देश बनाना है, विकसित राष्ट्र बनाना है, हमें आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाना है, हमें स्वदेशी भाव से परिपूर्ण लोग तैयार करने हैं। और उसके साथ साथ उसमें सबसे बड़ा योगदान देने वाला जो प्रदेश है, वो सबसे बड़ा प्रदेश हमारा उत्तर प्रदेश है, जिसके बारे में कि आदरणीय डॉक्टर जी.एन. सिंह साहब ने चर्चा की है। ये देश का सौभाग्य है और प्रदेश का सौभाग्य कि हमारे पास आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी जैसे प्रधानमंत्री हैं और श्रद्धेय श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी जैसे व्यक्तित्व वाले आध्यात्म के तेज से परिपूर्ण हमारे पास मुख्यमंत्री हैं, जिनकी दृष्टि बहुत स्पष्ट है और जिनके विकास के बारे में ये दृष्टि है बहुत स्पष्ट है कि हमें केवल आर्थिक विकास नहीं चाहिए, हमें केवल जो है दूसरे क्षेत्रों का विकास नहीं चाहिए, तो चाहिए ही, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ हमें सांस्कृतिक विकास चाहिए, हमें आध्यात्मिक विकास चाहिए। और इसलिए उत्तर प्रदेश को जब हम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं तो इन सबके साथ उसको आगे बढ़ाएं। उत्तर प्रदेश का जो विकास है वो समग्रता में हो। वी शुड हैव दी होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द स्टेट एंड द नेशन। और इसलिए जब हम विकसित राष्ट्र की बात करते हैं तो विकसित राष्ट्र की जो परिभाषा है पूरा विश्व हमसे सीखे कि विकसित राष्ट्र का मतलब क्या है। सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को डिफाइन किया गया है, जिसको कहा गया है कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट वो है जो केवल आज की पीढ़ियों के साथ साथ भविष्य की पीढ़ियों की जरूरतों का भी ध्यान में रखता है। ये समपोष विकास है, इसे टिकाऊ विकास भी कहते हैं, धारणशब विकास भी कहते हैं, अलग अलग नामों से इसको जानते हैं, सतत विकास भी कहते हैं। ये सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की परिभाषा जो है यूनाइटेड नेशंस के द्वारा दी गई है और इसमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स भी बनाए गए हैं। भारत उसमें एक राष्ट्र के रूप में एक सिग्नेचरी है जिसमें 17 सस्टेनेबल गोल्स हैं जिनको भी हमें प्राप्त करना है और ये मिलेनियम गोल का एक हिस्सा है। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में भी क्वालिटी एजुकेशन फॉर ऑल जो एक सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल है 4.0 उसके बारे में चर्चा की गई है। हमारे सचान साहब ने डॉक्टर कलाम का एक कोट पढ़ा था। मैं भी डॉक्टर कलाम से बहुत प्रभावित रहा हूँ और व्यक्तिगत रूप से मेरा सौभाग्य रहा है कि उनके साथ काफी कुछ समय मुझे बिताने का मौका मिला है विभिन्न विश्वविद्यालयों के कुलपति रहते हुए। और मेरे निवेदन पर वो परलोक गमन से पहले कुछ समय पहले ही कुछ माह पहले इंदौर में ही पधारे थे विश्वविद्यालय में अपनी एक टॉक देने के लिए। तो डॉक्टर APJ कलाम द विजनरी साइंटिस्ट and former president of India, not only former president but the people's president of India, once said, and I quote, "Science is a beautiful gift to humanity. We should not distort it." That is very important. Science is a beautiful gift to humanity. We should not distort it. This thought perfectly captures the sense of our discussion today. As we harness AI to build smarter systems, we must ensure we are also building a wiser, more human society. Therefore, as we celebrate each new discovery and invention, it is equally essential to critically evaluate its short and long-term impact on society, on humanity. If an innovation benefits humankind in one aspect but creates unemployment, ethical challenges or social disparities in another, we must pause and ask, is it truly serving humanity? We need high-tech, creative and visionary innovators, but their vision must reflect the spirit of global citizenship. We as Indians carry the great tradition of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the belief that the entire world is one family. as we aspire to become the विश्व गुरु, जिसकी चर्चा हमारे डॉक्टर जी साहब भी कर रहे थे, the world leader, the thought leader of the world, we must also embrace our role as Vaishvik Nagarik global citizens with a sense of responsibility, with compassion, with equality and inclusivity. The wide-ranging applications of AI in drug discovery, delivery process optimization, and pharmacological studies are opening new frontiers for the pharmaceutical world. I sincerely hope that through this conference we not only celebrate these innovations but also engage in meaningful discussions about their potential challenges, ensuring that our progress remains ethical, inclusive, and sustainable. Before I conclude, I extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizing team of the World Institute for providing this wonderful platform for dialogue and collaboration. I also thank all the participants for their patient hearing and enthusiastic engagement. Let us work together to build a future where technology and humanity advance hand in hand, redefining education, research and industry through intelligent and responsible innovation. प्यारे विद्यार्थियों, इस विकसित भारत की चर्चा हम लोग कर रहे हैं, इस विकसित उत्तर प्रदेश की चर्चा कर रहे हैं 2047 की, उसके आज आप लोग जिस मुकाम पर हैं, आप ही उसके कर्ता धर्ता होंगे, आप ही उसके फल चखने वाले होंगे। डॉक्टर जीएन सिंह साहब ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि अब लगभग सभी लोग 27 की ओर जा रहे हैं। डॉक्टर हर साहब को मैं देख रहा हूँ, मेरा भी डॉक्टर खरा साहब से पहले से परिचय रहा है और ऐसे बहुत से लोग होंगे। तो इसलिए जो जब लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी बढ़ रही है, लेकिन हम लंबी आयु तक जिए भी और लेकिन उसके साथ साथ स्वस्थ भी रहें, क्रियाशील भी रहें, ये महत्वपूर्ण है। जीवन उम्र में नहीं बनना चाहिए, बल्कि जीवन सार्थकता में मुझे लगता है बनना चाहिए। हमारा जीवन विद्यार्थियों केवल सफल न हो, बल्कि हमारा जीवन सार्थक भी हो। हमें आखिरी श्वास में लगे कि हमने कुछ किया है, हमने कुछ जिया है और हम जिसके लिए ईश्वर ने हमको यहाँ भेजा था, उसको कार्य को हम करके जा रहे हैं और एक संतुष्टि के साथ हम अपनी आंखों को बंद करें, ऐसी कोशिश हमें अपने जीवन में करनी चाहिए। आप सभी को बहुत शुभकामनाएं, आपका भविष्य उज्जवल हो और योग इंस्टीट्यूशन आगे प्रगति करे, ऐसी कामना करता हूँ। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।